Karl Effect. What is it, and why are people blaming it on Chris's new look? A few days ago, MrBeast and the boys opened 1,000 gifts from fans on stream, but the gifts they got were the last thing the fans were talking about. No, they weren't talking about Karl's mom. Okay, well, they were talking about Karl's mom, but that's not what I'm here to discuss. There were hundreds of comments on Chris and his new appearance during the stream, and only about 3 of them were positive. Chris has been going through a lot these past few years. He recently divorced his wife, who he has a kid with, and he also recently admitted to be using HRT for the past 2 months, which he actually claimed saved his life. For those who don't know, HRT is a chemical that blocks testosterone when used by males. A ton of fans were outraged by this, saying that Chris should no longer be a part of the videos, which I find insane because he has been there since the beginning, and he is still the same person he was in those early days of MrBeast. I don't think that him wearing feminine clothes and growing out his hair is a fair reason for people to want him out of the group. People are blaming Chris's transition on Karl because Karl is a very supportive person of the LGBTQ community, and because back in 2020 is when Karl joined the MrBeast crew, and later that year, Chris publicly came out as bi. I haven't seen any stronger arguments about how Karl caused Chris to feel and live the way he does, so I'm gonna guess that everyone claiming that Chris is the way he is because of the Karl effect is just a bunch of little kids whose dads talk about how things were better back in my day before all these gays were everywhere waving around their pride flags. And I'm gonna guess that all these dads have parents who claim that society was better before whites and blacks started dating each other. All of this hate coming towards Chris and Karl is just coming from a bunch of kids who come from a long line of angry family members who are more worried about what others are doing with their lives than what they're doing with their own lives, so I really hope Chris isn't letting all this hate get to him. Now, besides all the hate and rumors being spread, there is one person who I believe wants to be supportive but is really struggling to, and that person is MrBeast. I couldn't help but notice that throughout the entire stream, MrBeast seemed incredibly annoyed with Chris, and he even made some snarky comments to Chris while opening their gifts.
To Chris and Gavin. Wow, one of those is my name.
We get it, you're here.
Yeah.
Chris has been with Jimmy since the very beginning of MrBeast, and I think he really wants to support his friend, but from my perspective, it looks like for some reason he can no longer stand being around Chris. And there is the possibility that MrBeast doesn't support Chris, but he fears the negative publicity and the future of his channel if he were to kick the only member of his crew that is in the LGBT community. I hope I'm wrong about that and Jimmy does support his friend, because I really love these two's dynamic on camera over the years, and I'd hate to see them split. But that's just my take. Let me know what you guys think of this whole situation in the comments below, and leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.
Watch out!